Hi guys, welcome back to Grace Gowdy Pilates. Today I'm going to take you through a reformer workout and all you'll need is a chi ball. So you're going to lie onto your back, have one red spring and one blue spring. You're placing your heels on the foot bar and then separate the toes. It's a really light spring, so we're going to work straight into our hamstrings. So inhale, take a deep belly breath here. Exhale, imprint the small of your back into the carriage. Lift the hips up to the ceiling. And then without letting the carriage move, I want you to lower yourselves down one vertebrae at a time. So flowing through this movement, keeping the heels glued together. The knees are shoulder width distance apart. And thinking about drawing your bottom towards your heels when you lift your hips up to the ceiling. Exhaling, lifting. Inhaling to lower. On this next one, I want you to keep your hips up high. Now with a flat back, you're going to send your bottom down towards the carriage, and without letting it touch the carriage, you're going to send the hips back up towards the ceiling. So we're inhaling, coming down, hinging, and then exhaling, squeezing, lifting. Belly buttons drawing to your spine, just a few more like this. Now we're going to keep our hips high. From here, close the knees together, then open them back out. We're closing and then opening. 4 more like this. Keep the carriage in at the stopper for 3. Exhale, draw together for 2. You've got it. Last one here. Open the knees back out and then lower yourself down one vertebrae at a time. Nice work. You're going to grab hold of your short loops that are behind you. Reach the arms up to the ceiling and have a bit of tension on the straps. You're going to float your right leg into tabletop, followed by your left leg. Keeping the arms nice and still, we're going to inhale, extend our right leg over the foot bar, and then exhale, we're going to alternate to the left leg. So we're in neutral spine, finding length through the legs as you extend, remembering that the lower that you send your legs, the more challenging it is for the lower abdominals. So the higher that you send it up to the ceiling, it's going to take that pressure off, and the lower that you send it over the foot bar, it's going to engage those abdominals even more. If you want to make it more challenging, add in your double leg extensions, so both legs reaching long over the foot bar, and then exhaling, coming back into tabletop. Good. Last one here. Draw the legs back into tabletop. As you exhale this time, you're going to draw the hands all the way down by your hips. Allow the elbows to hover off a centimeter or 2. We're going to bend and extend at the elbows, working into our tricep presses. Inhale to bend. Exhale, extend through the arms. If you want to make this a little more challenging, you can add in your chest lift. So as you extend the arms, you're going to lift up through the head, neck, and shoulders. Draw your gaze in between your knees and then inhale to lower down. So we're working up to our coordination. Exhaling, extending, adding in that chest lift. Inhale to lower down. Next time that you lift up, I want you to extend both legs over the foot bar, then lower your upper body, bend the knees, and then extend, curl up, inhale to lower. Belly buttons drawing to your spine, just a few more. So we're coming into our full coordination now. You're going to open and close the legs as wide as a foot bar, then bend the knees, bend the elbows, lower the upper body. So we extend, open, close, bend the knees, bend the elbows, lower the upper body. So there is a distinction between bending the knees and then also bending the elbows and lowering the upper body. Exhale, extend, open, close, bend the knees, and then the elbows bend, upper body lowers down at the same time. Bend the knees, bend the elbows, lower the upper body. Nice work. Just place the feet onto the foot bar. Wriggle yourself out of your shoulder rest if you become cramped up in there before we work into our next set of arms. So arms are reaching back up to the ceiling. Float the legs into tabletop. Pull the hands all the way down by your hips. Open the arms out into a T position. And in this T position, without letting the carriage move, draw the hands back up to the ceiling. So we're pulling down, opening out to the side. Without letting the carriage move, draw up to the ceiling. So starting to switch on through the abdominals again, feeling this core stabilizing as you float the arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, pulling down, opening out, holding still, open up, reach up to the ceiling, and then exhale, pulling down again. Nice, opening out, hold the carriage still, draw the arms up to the ceiling, exhale, pull down. Last one here. Now we're going to reverse it, so open out wide, exhale, pull all the way down, and then float up to the ceiling. So this time you're keeping the carriage still when you open your arms out into that T position. Then exhale, pull down from the armpits, draw the hands down by the hips, then float back up to the ceiling. Just a couple more in this direction, opening out, exhale, pulling down, float up to the ceiling, keeping those legs in tabletop. Last one here. Nice. We're going to work into our feet and straps, so you'll need the chi ball handy. I like to place one foot in at a time. Grab hold of the chi ball and then place the other foot into the long loop. You're going to place the chi ball right in between your ankle bones. Make sure that your heels are on the chi ball as well. We're coming into our lift and lowers. So we're going to inhale, float the legs up to the ceiling as far as you can without letting your pelvis tilt. And then exhale, reach the legs away from you as far as you can without letting your pelvis tilt in the other direction. So keeping the inner thighs engaged, toes are reaching up to the ceiling, legs are straight. We're working in our neutral spine. Have about a 20% squeeze on that chi ball, so we're engaging through our inner thighs. Next time that you lower down, hold it here. We've got 20 pulses with our ankles. So it's almost like you're trying to draw your ankle bones to your ankle bones. So squeeze that chi ball. We've got 10 for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to bend the knees and then extend. So it's almost like coming into a squat position. So we're bending and then driving out through the heels. And again, keep that 20% connection with the chi ball, so still engaging the inner thighs. And this next one, keep the legs straight. Again, we've got 20 pulses into that chi ball. Keep working those inner thighs. Good work. We've got 10 for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This time you're going to externally rotate the legs and dig the heels into the chi ball. You'll start to feel it working through a different part of the inner thighs. We're working into our froggies, inhaling to bend, exhale, drive out through both heels, extend the legs out long. Connecting through the glutes, feeling that slight squeeze on that chi ball, lengthening through the legs, belly buttons drawing to your spine. On the next one, keep the legs straight. We're pulsing again into that chi ball. We've got 10 more and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees. Grab hold of that chi ball, place it off to one side. We're going to extend the legs up to the ceiling and work into some circles. So open the legs as wide as a foot bar, circle them down and around, connect the feet together, and then you're just going to repeat it here. So your aim is to keep the pelvis as still as possible. You don't want it rocking from side to side or back and forth. Think about drawing your belly button to your spine. And also think about switching on through your pelvic floor, so that sensation of holding going to the bathroom. When you're ready, you're going to reverse your circles in the other direction. So you've got the option to keep these circles small, or you can make them as big as you want, just as long as you've got the pelvic stability. Just allowing your femur to roll around within your hip socket. A couple more like this. Last one. Then bend your knees, take your feet out of the straps, place the long loops onto your shoulder pins, and you're going to curl up from there. We're changing the springs to just one red spring. Grab hold of that chi ball again. You're going to lie to your side. Send your bottom all the way to the back of the reformer, and then I want you to grab hold of the long loop and place it behind your knee, so your top knee. Hand is on your hip. Your top leg is off of your bottom leg. You're in a 90-degree position with both legs. And I want you to allow your top foot to go floppy. I'm going to work into the top glute. From here, without letting the carriage move, you're going to inhale, lower the top leg on top of the bottom, and then exhale, float it back in line with your hip. Make sure that your ankle, knee, and hip are all in one line when you lift the leg off. Use your breath. On the next one, keep the top leg lifted. You're going to draw big circles with that top leg. So imagine a pencil's coming out of your kneecap. I want you to draw big circles with that pencil, just allowing your femur to roll around within the hip socket. Good, we're now going to reverse the circles. So again, drawing big circles with the kneecap. Nice and slow and controlled, really getting into the glutes. 6 more like this. Nice, hold the carriage still. You're going to lift and lower the top leg up higher than the hip, then lower it back in line with the hip. Exhaling, lifting, inhale to lower. This is your final little bit of your glutes. Use your breath, keep working into that bottom. 4 more. And 3, 2, last 1. You can lower the leg all the way down. Tap out the bottom if you need to. You're going to take your leg from out of that long loop. Grab hold of the long loop with your left hand or your top arm. Reach your top leg over the foot bar and the bottom leg underneath. Float both legs off. With a straight arm, I want you to exhale, pull the hand all the way down by your side, and then inhale, float it back up to the ceiling. Exhale, pulling down. Inhale to float back up. So starting to engage through the lats. Working your obliques by keeping both legs lifted off. The next time, keep your hand reaching down by your hip. This time you're going to float the arm forward without letting the carriage move. Reach the arm back up to the ceiling, then exhale, pull down. So it's almost mimicking those circles we did at the start. You're just doing it with a single arm this time. Floating the arm forward, reaching up, exhale, pulling down. 3 more in this direction. And for 2. 1 more here. Reach up, exhale, pull all the way down. And now we're going to place that long loop onto the shoulder pin. Let's roll over to the other side. We'll get our glutes working first. Nice, grab hold of that long loop. You're going to thread your leg through, place the loop behind your knee, and we're just going to lift the top leg off of the bottom leg. Lift out of your bottom waist. You can have your right hand onto your hip. And now, without letting the carriage move, you're going to lower the top leg on top of your bottom, and then exhale, lift the top leg back up in line with the hip. Inhaling to lower, exhaling to lift. Just continue here before we work into our circles. You're ready. We're going to start to circle that leg. Imagine there's a pencil coming out of the kneecap. You're going to draw those big circles. Just allowing the femur to roll around within the hip socket. Belly buttons drawing to your spine. Continuing here before we reverse the circles in the other direction. Now let's reverse the circles. Keeping the carriage still, we're going to exhale, lift the leg up a little higher than the hip, and then inhale to lower. Exhaling, lifting, inhale to lower. Good, last one here. Lower the leg down, and you can take your leg from out of that long loop. Grab hold of the long loop with your right hand, reach the right leg over the foot bar, the left leg's underneath, float both legs off, and I want you to exhale, pull the hand all the way down by your hip, inhale, float back up to the ceiling, so connecting through the lats. Pull all the way down. This time you're going to float the arm forward. Keep the carriage still as you reach the arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, pull all the way down again. Float the arm forward, reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, pulling down. Nice. 4 to go. Nice work. You're going to place the long loop onto your shoulder pin, and we're lying onto our back. Give yourself a figure 4 glute stretch, so bring the right ankle over your left knee. Get that release through the glute. Because any kind of muscles that you work, you want to be able to lengthen them. That creates that elongated, lengthened look within the body. Swap to the other side when you're ready. Coming on up from there, we'll keep the red spring. We'll take the chi ball off, and you're going to come into a high kneeling position facing towards the back of your reformer. Grab hold of your short loops with both hands. Belly buttons drawing to your spine. You're going to pull into your straps, draw your hands by your side. Good. From here, you're going to exhale, pull into your straps even more, draw the hands further behind you, and then inhale, float the hands back in line with your hips. Apologies, I look quite funny here. I just don't look like I have any head, but bear with me. Exhale, pull back, and then inhale, float the arms in line with your hips. Good. So you're starting to work through the triceps. This time, make the movement a little bit bigger. So sweep the arms forward, and then exhale, pull all the way back. Inhale, sweeping forward. Exhale, pull all the way back. 3 more. And 2. Last one here. Adding on to this, lower the bottom down, exhale, pull the hands back by your hips. Without letting the carriage move, you're going to send the hips up to the ceiling, float the arms forward, lower the bottom down, exhale, pull back again. Lifting the hips up, float the arms forward. Lowering down, exhale, good. Keep pulling into those straps as you lift the hips up. That way you're going to really work your triceps. Belly buttons drawing to your spine, gazes forward, shoulders are down. Let's do 4 more. place the long loops onto your shoulder pins. And we're going to work into our reverse abdominals. This time, you're going to bring your knees on top of your shoulder rests. Wrap your hands around the frame of the reformer. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, you're going to draw the carriage up to meet your hands and then inhale to release. So we're folding at the hips, drawing the carriage up to meet the hands, and then inhaling to release. Belly buttons drawing to your spine. Keep lifting out of your shoulders. You'll feel this more intensely through your lower abdominals. 4 more. Exhale, float up for 3. 2 to go. And on this next one, keep the carriage up. You've got little pulses here. 6 to go. And 5. For 4, keep working those lower abs. For 3. Exhale, draw up for 2. Final one here. Release the carriage. Bring the knees onto your carriage. Come back into a child's pose position. And then get a little bit of a thoracic extension here. So you're going to start to press into both hands. Inhale, start to lift up through the crown of your head. And then exhale, lower down. Keep the bottom attached to your heels. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling to lower down. Slowly coming out of there, we're keeping the red spring. We're just going to turn around to face towards the foot bar. Have your left toes on the ground and have your right foot up against your shoulder rest. We're going to work into a hamstring stretch and release. So keep the hips tracking forward. Get that release through the back of the leg. And then you can draw the carriage in. Let's lower the right knee down onto the carriage and get your hip flexor stretch and release. Again, keeping the hips square. And swapping over to the other side when you're ready. So getting that hamstring stretch and release. Both legs are straight. Coming into that nice split position. And then drawing the carriage in, lower the left knee down onto the carriage. This time get your hip flexor stretch and release. Draw the carriage all the way in. Thank you very much for joining. You're all finished for today, and I'll see you again next time. Bye guys.